Alright, why don't we get started with programming? I think everything is set up. Yeah, it looks like everything is ready. Actually, I'll say that this looks a bit off. We'll find out in a sec. And the answer is, yeah, it's a bit off. Oh my, there's a lot messed up. Okay, let's hurry up and fix these things. Yeah, it's amazing how sometimes these things just don't like working properly. There we go. Okay. One is fixed. There we go. Now let's see here. Where's our little box? There it is. And we are good. Almost. I think... Oh. Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's... Alright, let's... Okay, everything is set and ready to go. Let's go ahead and start programming. So... It's been a while since I last streamed programming. We've been having a lot of problems, and... I mostly remember the problems. I don't remember where we left off last time. I'm still having trouble with the... I'm still having trouble with this error none type. I've been trying to figure out everything I can about it, but it's still eluding me quite a bit. It's... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. I really don't. I think it has to do with some... I've been doing tests, though. I think it honestly has to do with the fact that there's something going on under the hood when it comes to how things are referenced and how things are dealt with. And without actually digging deeper into what's going on, I don't know if I'll be able to solve it. I did notice when going through the documentation, at least, that we have a for loop going through parts. And this was a very... Yeah, this right here is a bit confusing to me. Because effectively we're tapping the same element 3 times. But yeah, so I will have to figure more out about it, and once I do, I can probably figure out what's causing the problem. I think that's good right there. Okay. Adjusting the audio. Okay then. But yeah, so we're going to stick with our dictionaries for now, and we'll figure out we'll figure that out later. In the meantime, we can still set up everything like the codes and the core and run with that. Last time if you remember last time, we were doing quite well when it came to collecting data. We were extracting quite a bit from ROMsDB. Look at that. 563. My, we extracted so many. We ran across a particular error involving... It involved one of the problems, but we might be able to test our history data at some point. History data soon. The last thing is now we want to go in and we want to start extracting out our web page information from our data sources here. So if you look, we kind of lacking our data sources right now. We will have to update it. As you can see here from our GameFAQs section, from our GameFAQs section, we were able to collect out all of the different, pretty much we're able to generate the array of data that we were hoping for. Look at that. Very nice. I think, let's see here, and variable name is the last one. And if you look here, this is just telling us where we left off. So the last tag we're leaving at is APF IM 10,000. That's... Yeah, that's... Well, once it hits, I think Wednesday, we can start extracting more again. So today, what we're going to work on is extracting more from romhacking.net. So let's go ahead and get our system set up. It's quite... So far, the project has been moving quite smoothly, I think. I would like to think the project has been moving a bit smoothly. Alright. Let's see... Oh yeah, we have to start setting up our main functions, too. There's a lot to get done, though. We have been working hard, but there's an awful lot that still needs to get worked on. Let's see... Here it is, romhacking.net main. Okay. Okay then, so what do we need to initialize first? We need to initialize our database. Let's go ahead and copy. We need to initialize our variables as well. So we'll initialize history doc. There we go. That way we can bring in the history whenever we need to. Nice. Now, let's go ahead and run this. Oh, there was an error. Oh, why was there an error? PyDev unrecognized arguments. Okay, let's restart. Oh, it's because of that. It's because of that. Yeah. Okay. I need to move those. Go ahead and just run all these for now. We'll go ahead and set up our tool right here. There we go. Our task is... Yeah, this I want to move out at some point. I need to figure out how to, but for now, I'm going to tab it out. Okay then. We are done with the scraper. We're done with this main scraper right here. Okay, we're not done, but we've set it up. We've done the Selenium main. Enum fields, I'm still trying to figure it out, so we'll ignore it. The parser, we don't need to worry about that. History service and doc. Oh. Yeah, I'm using the doc for testing. Let's go ahead and exit that there so we won't cause trouble. We don't need the base service or the base doc. Oh boy, we have a lot of cleanup. We have a lot of cleanup to do. And I think that's good for now. Okay. All right, romhackscraping.net. Let's get this running and begin. There we go. Oh. Mongo connection, romhacking.net has not been defined. Oh, we better... Let's see here. I thought I ran this. Mongo engine connection failure. Connection with alias romhacking.net has not been defined. Is there? Did I make a change somewhere in my structure? Let's see. We need to go to the main function. No, GameFAQs, database, main, history doc. No, that looks right. That looks accurate. Scrape, ROM hacking database, initialize, database, history doc. All right. What does our Mongo service look like? Let's see here. We should go to the connections. We have default. I see default connection. Wait, why? Why are they all none? That doesn't make sense. They should not all be none. That is wait a minute. Let's restart. Okay, Mongo service. Set up the connection. Let's go over to here. Run everything. There we go. It says we've established a connection for ROM hacking and variables. That's what it is right there. Nice. Let's go to Mongo service .connections. And there are none yet. What is going on? That is very peculiar. It was working, yet it's always like this when it comes to whenever you're trying to present something, everything that was working previously just stops working for some reason. Let's run the GameFAQs main. Let's see here. Okay. Something's messed up. Something broke. What broke? Especially since it says it's establishing connection. Why you not work you? Hey, Lady Kitty. How's it going? Let's see here. It's amazing how things seem to just stop working properly. Now let's check out Mongo service. Let's check out Mongo service right now. Let's see here. Oh, that sounds fun. You'll have to explain. You'll have to show us later. As I said, I've already figured out I already made a couple OC characters, and I'm quite content with them. Sure, sure. Let's listen to you. Let's hear what the lore is for you. While you're writing that up, I can try and figure out why my code that was working yesterday is now not working. Which is very strange because it doesn't make sense that it's not working, especially since you look here at the log and see that we actually have the connection right there. I wonder why it's just vanishing. Why it's not being saved in connections. Oh, probably because it might be being saved in registry instead. No, right here. We're putting it in connections. What does the registry look like? There's default. Okay. Let's see here. Connection. Initialize variables. We're putting connections db con. Initialize alias list db con. So that's all correct. These are class functions, so that means we don't have to worry about making any instances. Create connection is not returning anything. But that's because we should be running the... Yeah, we're right here. We're running this function. Oh. It might be why. Because there's this return function right here. I really should set it so that... Let's see here. If it's default, we establish the connection. If this is not in the keys, then we build our connection. Otherwise, we get the connection and return it. So we really don't need this return. In fact, I'm going to raise an error here. Okay. Okay, let's see here if this might... This could at least notify us what might be going on. Yeah, okay then. It is running all the... I wonder why. It is bypassing everything, which is very strange. Her name is Hana Trima. She's a Vietnamese radio personality. She is inspired by Hana Hanoi, who is known for broadcasting on radios in the Vietnam War. Oh, that sounds quite interesting. I will have to look up Hana Hanoi when we get to the break, which will be in what, 7 minutes. In 7 minutes, we'll look up Hana Hanoi and see who this is. I am quite curious. And what type of skills does she use? Let's see here. Mongo service. So in our initial setup, we just run this and set up a default connection. So this is what we've run. Run get connection. In this case, we create a new one, but then we run new. And then in new, if it is not in the registry, as in if the name we're inputting in is not there, in this case, it should be default. Then what we'll do is we will add it to the registry. We will then establish a default connection, which will be run create connect. And then afterwards, we will then put that into default. But for some strange reason, when we run create connect, let's see here, we're putting in default. If default is not in connections, but we're establishing that later. So why is it reaching the end? That is a very peculiar... That is very peculiar right there. I know what I'm going to do. First thing, let's go ahead and reset the... Let's go reset our... There might be something persistent going on. I'm going to reset this first. Let's reset PyCharm. And then we'll dig deeper into it and find out why that's throwing a complaint. Okay. Let's see here, setup. Oh. Setup environments. There we go. And it throws an error. How much do you bet when because when I call it here, it actually is trying to establish a connection immediately. As soon as I call this in, right here, and because of that, it's having a bit of difficulty when I tell it to get the connection. I'm surprised that this is throwing an error. Alright, let's figure it out. Let's see here. Her lore is she was raised in a poor family, but as a child and listened to her grandmother's radio, so she was obsessed with radios and how sound waves work. And when her family escaped to the US, she started studying to become a radio personality. She plays major roles in many anti-war broadcasts. That sounds... Actually, that sounds kind of familiar. Didn't that happen for some of the voice actors back in the 50s? Or early 30s, late 40s? All right. So yeah, as soon as we run this... Git connect... Let's see here, run new... Actually, I'm a bit confused. Yeah, I'm actually a bit confused where the error is forming in the code. One, because it was working earlier, but two, I don't see where the problem really is. Because when you call new, the idea is when you call new, as in you start creating a new instance. Actually, that might be the problem. We're calling new, as in create a new instance. And as such, it might be having issues here. Let's see here. I changed up to the credentials. Let's make sure the credentials are correct. Let's see here. Panda Panda. The DB name is RomDB. We should probably change that to default now. The password and the username don't work. I haven't set that up yet. I really should. Okay, let's go ahead and try and set up one more time. And throws an error. Let's see, Mongo service, where are you? Get, well, not get connection. Let's see what the underlying connections are. Default is not there yet. That is very peculiar. So we haven't established it yet. So when I do get connections right here, it ran perfectly fine. Okay, it ran perfectly fine. All right. What happens if we go to Mongo service? Okay, something broke. Something broke somewhere along the way. Oh, ads are starting pretty soon. So due to her limited budget, she decided to accept a manner invitation to the games for the prize money. Also, her story is similar to some of the Vietnamese who had to escape to the U.S. for their families. I see. I knew it kind of sounded familiar because it seemed to be a very common theme for a lot of refugees back then. All right, where are you? I'm looking for the... Let's do a quick search for Hanoi. There we go. Here she is, right here. 1931 to 2000. Wow. It's only recently since she passed away. Oh my. I thought that we were talking about someone who was much, much old, or, you know, they died in like the 70s. They were born in the 1800s, or the early 1900 or late 1900s, so like 1886 or 1892, and then lived through the war and then came over. But for her case, no, she was just a really little girl when World War II broke out. I will have to see if I can find some old broadcasts of hers. 85. That's a pretty good age. I see. Interesting. She became famous among U.S. soldiers for her propaganda broadcasts on Radio Hanoi. All right. It's very fun to learn about people like this. She made English language broadcasts for North Vietnam, directed at U.S. troops. Okay. Fun. Okay, so let's see here. Let's, as I said, we'll have to look up more about her next time. I'm quite curious. For now, let me try and figure out why this stopped working. It was working perfectly fine. It was working perfectly fine yesterday, the day before yesterday, and the day before that. And now it's not working anymore. Well, I mean well, yes. Propaganda is neither positive nor negative. It's just it's just a politically motivated materials that are being dispersed to try and influence someone's viewpoint. All right, so let's see here. I see this shaking. Look at it. It likes to shake. Okay then, so what is going on here? Let's see. So we're running this. If default is not in connection list, which if I last checked, default is not there. So if it is not there, we are going to create this. This will be default. And then we establish the connection. So yeah, if default is not in there, then we run this. And then here, this right here. So this is where the error in the code is coming in. If the DB name, right here, if the DB name is not in the connection list, then we create it. Otherwise, we return it. So this should work. Because we're already establishing default, and then if our database name is called default, then it should automatically see that it's in the keys, and therefore it should just return the connection and then piss off. So it should work. It should be working. Okay then. Okay, let's try. I think I might know where the exact problem is. And no, that's not it. Okay then. It failed. Connection fail. Yeah, the connection failed. It's for deceiving the hunter. I see. Very interesting. Is it going to be a lot like Meteorologist, where she blocks out the vision? I'm guessing in this case it would be like messing with the heartbeat. Okay, let's see here. If I run this. Okay, let's see. What about MongoCon? Connections. And it's not saving them anymore. This is so peculiar. This is so very, very peculiar. Get connection. If the name is not in the registry, then we'll simply create this. The name is going to be what we input in, which happens to be default. Default. This is, yeah, default. You know what? I want to do one other thing. I'm going to restart this computer. It has not been off forever. I highly doubt it's a problem with that specifically, but the fact that, as I mentioned, it was working yesterday, and now that I'm streaming, it's not working. I'm wondering if there might be just some weird memory leak or something that I need to contend with. So what we'll do is we'll restart the computer and then just kind of figure out what is going on. Okay, so if there is a cipher is past 30%, she can place a tiny chip on there. All right. And what does the chip do exactly? Does it hide the decoding rate, as in it makes it look like the cipher hasn't been decoded as much? Does it swap the decoding prowess of two different ciphers, as in you kind of swap what the progression looks like for two of them, even though that's not actually the case. There we go. A connection established. Okay, first things first, let's run our service. So, service MongoD, start. Oh, okay, one moment. Yes, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. System, there it is. Okay. I'm going to just copy that. Don't mind me. There we go. We started that. Let's go ahead and load this back up. Okay. All right. And now let's get back to setup. Let's watch the error unfold. And try and figure out... Oh. There we go. Now let's try and figure out exactly why we're getting this. So yeah, it is purely something involving my code. The ability makes all of the chip ciphers shake like they are being decoded. And transfer a cipher's progress to a targeted chipped cipher. I see. So I see. It's kind of like a combination of Explorer and, or I should say maybe Frau Lady and Prisoner. She has to physically touch a cipher, but then she can transfer the decoded prowess. Interesting. Okay, Mongo service. Why you mess up, you? What changed within your code since I last looked at you? Let's see here, Mongo service right here. What changed? The crazy part is that nothing changed. Look at this. Nothing changed, yet for somehow it suddenly just stopped working. Alright. Alright. Let's just go ahead and run this. Mongo service dot get connection. And we'll call this default. There we go. So it's definitely running here. And it's right here as well. We run that, we get the registry, or returning the registry. Connections. We establish connections right here when we do new. Mongo client.connect. That's what we're doing when we do this. Oh, actually, wait a minute. Where? Right here. Oh, I get it. Okay. Got it. Okay. I'm establishing with the connections later. Duh. All right, then. Well, what that means then is... What this means then is that we need to always return connection. Since we're automatically going to... Actually, it's good that we brought up the raise value. Because what it means is that when we run the default and then we do the connect, this right here is still not being put in there. I think I might have to move these out. So let's go ahead and put that here so that we establish connection. And then we put that here, so if we create a new one, then we will add that in there as well. And then at the very end, we'll just simply return our connection. And this is an elif, which really should not be an L. It should really not be an elif. And then we'll put down here else. This will be a raise value error. No connection. Get there you go. No connection. Get. Hey, Suraj. Suraj, how's it going? Oh, that's a bit overpowered, actually. The fact that she can stun the hunter briefly and make it so that she can't track anyone, that makes her a bit overpowered. Hopefully she can only do that maybe once per match. Alright, let's set up our connection. There we go. Okay, then. Now, let's see here. Mongo service. Dots. Let's get to check the connections. And there is there we go. Okay. Okay, then. Surprisingly... Okay, let's go... Anyway, let's set this up here. We need to initialize our other ones. Now, let's set up the scraper. Our scraping should be... Our database is ROM hacking net. But we just call it... Okay, so we need to make sure that these are the same. There we go. And there we go. Okay. We are going. Oh. There we go. Okay. Nice. I see. Well, it's a bit difficult to say because you never really can tell how players will figure everything out when it comes to decoding. Or when it comes to playing a match. For instance, the lucky guy and his ability to take 2 guns became surprisingly extremely powerful. No one would have expected him to just keep collecting as many guns as possible. Alright, we're now here. Let's run our scraper. So let's see here. We want to not download the main page or download latest. Let's extract, there it is, extract ROM hacks. There we go. Let's let that go. It should be pretty quick. I think there's how many pages? Okay, yeah, come on. Let me go down. I want to see how many pages there are. Come on. Where are you? 42. Okay, 42 pages. So that shouldn't be too bad. So while we're letting that run, let's head over to our parser now. Let's see, parser. It should be an NLP. Here we go. Here's NLP. That's the core engine. We want to go, here it is, right here, parsers. So we need to start building our ROM hacking parser. I think. ROM hacking service. Yeah, okay. All right, parsers it is. Let's start making it. Why are you coughing? Oh, my little doggy is coughing for some reason. I am making a ROM hacking database. The idea is that I want to compile all of the ROM hacking information that I am aware of and build a simple scraper system that will keep track of everything that updates. A lot of the different websites will actively update and say with new content, and it just gets exhausting for me to have to keep track of it all. Let's see here. I can actually show you right here. Let me load this back up. A perfect example. Oh, okay, maybe not. Okay, it's busy working. Let me show you over here. Here you go, romhacking.net right here. So the reason why I came up with this idea is, one, if you can see here, they have these new translations and new hack sections. And that's perfectly fine for me. I usually check this regularly because I like ROMs and hacking them. So I go in here and go, oh, hey, what's new? It's this section down here. Last updated hacks. This here is a bane on my existence because of the fact that I don't know when these different hacks will be updated. Some of them will spend years, decades not updating, and then randomly out of nowhere it's updated. And by the time I actually remember to check this section, it has gotten pushed off the bottom. And I won't ever know that this has been this one particular patch has been updated. So what I'm hoping to build is again, a database which will keep track of what hacks have been being updated and what is the latest ones that are available to use. So that's kind of the general idea, as well as which ones have been removed, because there are sometimes hacks will just be abandoned by their creators, which is kind of no fun. Especially the translation ones, where you will have a translation made and then people just pretend it doesn't exist. But yeah, that's the idea. And it's not just this website as well. There's a whole ton of them. For instance, Resident Evil hacking. I think there's a chat forum. I don't remember exactly what it is. I have a feeling if I used Google, it would show up. Let's see here. Here, no, that's the fandom. Okay. It's somewhere. But believe me when I say that there is a website dedicated to nothing but Resident Evil hacks. It updates constantly. They're constantly changing all different aspects and manners of the game. And you would not know if you did not know the website existed. So eventually, at a certain point in time, I don't know when, I'll be building a website scraper, it'll be mostly for identifying new hubs of where you can find hacks. At that point in time, it'll be a bit later, but yeah. Oh, and while I'm hanging out, Lady Kitty is describing one of her characters she's designing. Let's see here. Yeah, okay, I don't see it. I don't see it. Resident Evil PSX Ultimate ROM hack. Yeah, they're Ultimate. I remember it's called Ultimate Director's Cuts. Is it this place? The Horror? Did they change their name? I think they changed their name. Oh yeah, I think the website changed its name to The Horror, because it wasn't called that originally. But yeah, nonetheless. Thank you. Alright. I know most people. This is kind of an old person's hobby. I mean, I've been around since the dinosaurs existed. So because of that, I tend to be more interested in things that are much older. And as such, I don't think many people are into hacking, particularly hacking games that are 30 plus years old. So this is more of a tracking of one of my very highly specific hobbies. Let's see here. If you pair those characters, Hana, it'll be powerful as hell. But the downside is to this ability, it says 150 cooldown. So around approximately a 2-minute and 30-second cooldown. If you think her ability is still too OP, I can make it so her ability needs to be recharged by working on ciphers. That would actually be a good idea. If you make it so that it recharges when she's working on a cipher, I think that would dramatically improve her, because what ultimately happens then is that her ability will be limited to a particular time frame. One of the big problems with Priestess and with one of the big problems with the Priestess and the Prospector and somewhat the Enchantress is that their abilities never go away, and as a hunter, that's pain. Oh, as a hunter, it's very painful. How are you from ancient China? Oh, were you around when the dinosaurs were around as well? I think I was actually in the pre-Cretaceous. I remember back then when there was mostly just giant insects wandering around. They were one hell of a mosquito, I tell you. Alright, 19. Okay then. It's working, it's working. So while we're at it, let's get our scraper set up. And like everything that I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy and paste this. Copy, paste. We'll change this to ROM hacking. There we go. So we should change this to the proper website. So we'll call this romhacking.net. The database is ROM hacking. I'm going to have to do something about the data, because this is a huge liability. The fact that I have to keep typing in ROM hacking everywhere. If I decide to change the database, I'm going to have to remember to go to every single section and rename it. Actually, I have an idea. I have a very... Alright, let's do that. That is a much better solution than I think of. So we have game consoles, we have the categories, narrative, perspective, rating, setting, web page types. So why don't we create a new enum, create a server file. I could. Hey, Alex, how's it going? You're right. I could create a server file and then just go and request for that. But I figured, because this is going to be... I want to try and keep things... I'm trying to build things with a little bit more secure... Okay, I want to say build it with a little bit more security, but to be fair, I don't know how secure an enum would be. The idea would be that this would be... what is it called? We'll just call it company for now. Companies. And then the idea here is we will copy and paste this. And then here we'll go with companies. And then last but not least, I can just simply create an enum here. So in this case, it could be GameFAQs. This will be GameFAQs. And I don't think I need a description exactly for this, but we could have other details in here. For instance, it could be we could have the websites, the main websites. So we could have HTTP GameFAQs dot GameSpot.net or .com. There we go, something like this. So then I can have GameFAQs, and then this one will be ROM hacking. And then something like this. Let's see here. We'll go with websites. This is a string. Let's go ahead and add this property in. Last but not least, right here. There we go. Okay. So we have, and then from here, all I can do is just, if I want to add in more websites, I can fill out this enum. That way it should keep things relatively constant. I know these are not companies, but I can't really think of another word right now. Oh, did you see that Imperial Palace drama from... It was the Chinese one that got censored and banned because it was too... I don't know what you'd call it. It wasn't bad or anything, but apparently they felt it was too... There was too much push-up, I guess you could say. And because of that, they horribly mangled it. Alright, so now we're here. What we can instead do here is we can bring in companies. And then ROM hacking. And in this particular case, we can go with code. There we go. And then from there, the next thing is to simply put this here. And this will be websites. There we go. And I think that would actually solve a lot of my problems. At least it would solve these problems for now. Because now what that means is that everywhere I want to go, I just need to import in companies and just tell it to grab the main URL. And here it is, database right here. Oh, we should probably put that up. Let's put that up here. There we go. Okay. Nice. So with this in mind, what we can now do, that way I will have to update GameFAQs, but for now, let's get back to our parser. Okay then, so here we are. The Imperial drum, man, when you learn about the Imperial time period, it is insane the amount of, because for a while, so I'm in Hong Kong for those who are unaware, and the Hong Kong TV, whatever you want to call them, the TV creators, they for a short while loved the Imperial Chinese Palace dramas, and some of the topics they would touch on sometimes were insane. I was watching one with my wife yesterday, actually, and there were princesses, or queens, I guess you could say, concubine, who were actively poisoning each other to cause them to have abortions. It was insane. I think in one particular episode, there was the case of like 3 abortions because they were all. Oh, be quiet, you. Be quiet, you. Yeah, there was like 3 abortions because all of the concubine were trying to get the upper hand for the other one. It is insane. Oh, stop it. Quit barking. No, no. Come here. Come here. No barking. No barking. I'm going to have to filter him out. I wonder if there's a way to. Okay. Anyway. So let's see here. We're here in the parser. We are currently extracting out this data here. Well, yes. No, stop it. No, come here. All right. I have to hold on to my dog. Nope. You stop it. Quiet. There's nothing out there. Literally. Stop it. No. No. Forget it. No, forget it. Come on. Or how about this? You go out. I'm going to shut the door on you. Okay. Silly little dog. So this is what we're extracting. And if you remember, we actually had written code earlier. It's currently in our scraper. It should be down here. So there's download the latest page. There it is, extract tag. Here it is, extract table data. So this was us creating the data for the... Yeah, this is what us creating the data, or the table. Let's see, that's the ROM extension. Actually, no, it's not. Interesting. Where did our parser code go for this particular section? Created documents. All right, well, we'll just recreate it then. It shouldn't be too difficult. Oh, and we're done. Oh, check it out. We're done. We have extracted all 42 pages. Nice. Let's go ahead and get them. I think we are set here. I'm going to go ahead and close this. Parser. Let's see here. ROM hacking. We still call it GameFAQs. Let's rename that real quick. There we go. They were, but they're a product of their times. I think that's a good way to put it. Okay, let's go ahead and restart everything now so that we can get our companies loaded up too. Let's see here, ROM, yep, this one right here. Let's go ahead and initialize everything. We do not need the scraper open right now. What we want is the parser right here. Oh, initialize, missing description. Oh, we're missing the description, huh? Okay, let's get over here real quick. Oh yeah, I see. We haven't put, we need a dot there. Okay. It's quite interesting, actually, when I think a lot of modern historians, they like to call it futurism, or, yeah, I think it's called, they use the term futurism. I could be wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. I always like to be corrected, and so I know what's correct. But the idea is that you would use your current understanding of the world and try and look back into the past and see if what they were doing is considered good or bad. You know, the people back then were evil because they were, I don't know, sacrificing goats at the time when clearly you sacrificing goats is wrong. Like, that's not how you should really look at history. That's a very narrow way of reading history. Oh, parser, come on. Where are you? ROM hack, there it is, parser. Okay, so here we are. We have set that up. Let's go ahead and query and get our data. Okay, we don't have any sitemap information. I think that should be fine. Oh, we need to load up Compass. I think that should be fine, though. Because if I recall, we set it up to be... Let's see here. Here it is, ROM hacking. Yeah, it's web page. So the tag is hacks and the web type is web page. So we should really load those up. So instead of doing a sitemap, this should be web page. Actually, this is sitemap data. The ROM hacking doesn't really have a sitemap. So why don't we just call this, instead of parse sitemap, this will be parse parse ROM table data. And then in this particular case, we'll put in the type. This will be the data type, which is going to be not the game console enum, but the web page type. Web page type enum. And then the idea then is we're going to go ahead and grab data type right here. There we go. And then from that, we can then proceed to do other stuff. So sitemap. We don't want to search for the ID, but what we do want to search for is the tag. Let's see here, data type, and then we'll put the tag enum right here. And this really could be any enum. Yeah, this could really be any enum. So we'll just do that for now. But then the idea here is that we'll take tag enum and we'll get the code from here as well. All right, so first things first, tag enum. Tag enum is going to be equal to, I believe this should be hack. There it is, hack. And then the data type, which is kind of the same thing. I might have to split that. Let's see here, data type is going to be, and this is web page. Okay then. Now this should give me the list, and it did not give me the list. Okay. All right, web page service. Oh, let's see here. Oh, Bark in the let's see here. The Bavak in the Victorian era, they would give corsets to children because it was considered popular, but I don't have a bad impact on their bones. Most likely, yes, but it would be considered bad back then. Yeah, it's it's very weird. Learning history, you tend to learn a lot of very strange, weird things. Okay, first things first. Let's just go to web page. So let's see here. Oh, I know. Let's see here. Let's go to the web page service. Let's get the cache. And the documents are there. Yeah, all of them are there. If that's the case. Let's see here. Okay, then hacks, and then web page. Oh, how much do you bet hacks is? Okay, how much? I think I know what the problem might be. I think I might know what the problem might be. Well, let's just go ahead and change the. Let's go ahead and just change this to a string right now. I'll have to fix that later. Now that should pull out the list. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the enum is incorrect. I need to fix that. But from there, we can go ahead and then start running through our list. Actually, let's try something. Is this going to... Okay, yeah, it's not going to work. All right. Let's go extract the site. Let's go extract the table. Ooh, let's... We need to see the HTML. Where are you? Here. All right. There we go. Okay. Don't mind me. I'm just going to your ROM hacking section. And we have ads. We'll start in a minute. Okay. Once the ads start in a minute, I'll read through more of the chat, and then we will comment. I swear, I remember writing code for this. I really do. I wonder where I hit it. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see here. Actually, I should probably... Okay, actually, before I am convinced I actually wrote code. Let me look real quick. Because I remember writing it. Let's see here. Maybe in the scraper. I don't see it here. Not in the base. Ah, here. I think I found it. Okay. Yeah, I found it. All right. I have a parser in the scraper section, which should be... I need to combine these two together. Because these and these should technically be... I need to define out what each section is actually doing. That's what I need to do. NLP. Okay, then. Why don't we write this down in our little document section here? And that way what we can do is... It's not going to change anything in the programming. I'll have to fix it myself, but it's a good way to mentally say, this is what we're doing. This is what this section is for. And then from there, we can then keep that in mind as we move forward. So, okay, where... Here it is. Why is it scrunched up like that? I don't know. Okay. So, core are the main functions that interface with the DB and other systems. NLP, natural language processing, for this will be for let's see here, parsing data into 4 elements for the HUD, and that means the scraper is extract data from the internet. If that's all the case, then All right then. That means for here, because we want this to be for parsing data later, this stuff here in the tools for scrapers, this really should not be here. Yeah, this really should not be here. This generate lists and this generate ROM hack list, these should be in the natural. Yeah, this is where the issue. This is where it comes in, because there's a split between what we want to present for or present forward, and there might be, and what's the difference between what is being in the back end. Okay, like Boff again. Oh yeah. So yeah, there's a difference between the front end and the back end here. So the NLP should be working on the section which will be the front end side of things. This will include extracting out the core components so that we can fill it into a database that we can then present later. This will also include updating GUI elements as well as doing calculations. For instance, the rating system stuff should be put in NLP. That means down here in our scraper parser system, this will be purely designed for interfacing with the database in order to perform more extractions. I might need to rename these because it's a bit confusing with the different parsers, but if that's the case, then this code here, this code right here in the tools and parser section, this is what we need to update. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and start copying everything. Okay then. So with that in mind, let's start copying it. Let's start working on that. So yeah, this code here will be. So yeah, we're not doing any of the sitemap extraction. That means the parser here, this stuff here, we're gonna have to move it. This is in the wrong section. This is in the wrong section. This parse the sitemap and the parse the data. This really should be down here in the GameFAQs parser. Yeah, we should probably rename this. How about let's go ahead and start doing that now. That way I won't get confused. So GameFAQs Selenium parser. Why don't we call this GameFAQs DB parser. And then we'll call this one ROM hacking DB parser. There we go. And then from here, we can then rename these. So this will be the Selenium versions. There we go. Okay, nice. All right. I don't see any. I don't see any new messages in the chat, so we will worry about that later. For now, let's go ahead and continue working. Let's see here. So now that we're in the ROM hacking Selenium parser down here, let's go ahead and copy this here. I think we'll copy this one. There it is, these. And we will copy, I guess, all of it. We'll copy all of it for now. Okay, so we don't need that. We'll import that. Data sources. We should... Yeah, we need to import data sources. Alright, so yeah, we do need to import data sources. We'll import the documents as well. Here are the main components of our parser. So we need to keep these. These are all variables. We do not need these up here, though. Services. I think we don't need those. We already have our toSave function. We don't need that. And then, there we go. Okay. All right. Nice. Nice, nice. Now we have that. Let's go ahead and see here. So this is our generate the ROM list. Let's go ahead and copy over our parser code that, because again, this section right here we're not doing. Yeah, this right here should be somewhere else. We're technically interfacing with a different, we'll be interfacing with a different part of the database once we get to this DB parser. The Selenium parser will be something different. There we go. Web type edom. Oh, and we need to do the... Actually, we don't need to do that one. That's going to change because we have the code right here. And actually, I think it's right here. Parse ROM hacking project page. Oh yeah, that's something different. This code right here would go up into the DB parser. So we'll have to move this. All right, let's see here. So first things first, we have ourselves our list of data, which happens to just be this right here. And then from here, we'll then create a data frame. We will run through everything and generate the list. And here we're inputting in the tag called hacks. All right. So let's go ahead and copy this for now. Actually, instead of copying it, why don't we go ahead and put this right here? We'll call this the web. Oh, this will be the web doc df. So it's the web doc data frame. Extract ROM hack, or extract extract table. Extract table. There we go. Okay, we're extracting table. And then from here we can then, I see. Because originally we were doing this first. But now we can put in here, we'll put, let's see here, we'll call this the hacking page list. This will be a list of not strings but documents. There we go, web page doc. And then we can just feed that in here like so. And then we need to return this. There we go. HTML file. We want to just pass in the web doc list. So let's go ahead and just do that. I think we're going to have to decode it as well. Hmm. All right, yeah, we are actually decoding it right there. So, okay, that's good. That is good. So now let's see here. Let's go ahead and run this. We have our webdoc list. If we run that, it will throw us an error. Why? Let's see here. ROM hacking Selenium parser has no extract table. But isn't that what that is? I see extract table. Why do you mean you don't have extract table? ROM hacking, let's see here. Self is equal to ROM hacking. I get it. I get it. The we need to make sure that everything is typed correctly. All right. And there we go. Okay. That should be the table. There we go. Nice. Let's go take a peek at it. This should be called webdoc.df. There. And here it is. Nice. Okay. So this is all of the data that we need. Yeah, this is all the data that we need. Okay. So we have the URL information, which is nice. We also have the version number and the date that it was released. We also have the name and the... Pretty much this gives us everything we need to know about what the data is. So... Theoretically, we can get all this information already. Theoretically, I could get all this information already from the next set of data we'll be extracting. So I think I will do that. We will worry about that later. For now, what we can do is we'll keep hold of this. We'll keep hold of that. I feel like it will be useful. Oh yeah, and this is we're returning a data frame here. There we go. But then from here, what we can do is we will see our web.docdf. We would like to get a hold of the URL. Do I have it? Did I write something up here? No. I don't see it. Nope. URL, are you down here? There it is. Okay, we need to define it. We'll have to define it. We'll have to define it up there. But here we can have URL. This should give us all of our list. There we go. And then from here we'll go to list. Like that. Let's see here. Data dictionary, string dir to dict. Let's see here. Alright, I see what's going on here. First things first, we'd create a data dict, but we're not doing that. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to create a new service document. We will use the data type tag as our file, or our ID information. We're not looping over, and we don't need to worry about the enums. All we really need to do is run this. Oh. Okay, so we'll... Okay. Alright, I think I'm going to keep it as sitemap for now, because technically that's what we're doing. It's this section right here that we need to worry about. Particularly this. And I would actually call this should be tag. This should be tag, and the inputs, the data sources. Actually, how did we just have it previously? Console code. Topic enum, here we go. Which happens to be what we extract from K. So this would be the, okay. I see. All right. So for our particular case, because we want the data to be stored in our, is going to be stored similarly here to data sources. Here we have sitemap, we'll have game sources, and then this will be all of the different things. For us, we would like to, I think, how did I define game sources real quick? It's been a few days, I forgot everything. Not MongoDB. History doc. Here we go. Okay, not history doc. Data sources. Here it is, data sources. We want the data source doc. In this particular case, it's game console enum. So we do have to establish what the game console is. Well, I could just set it as a data source and say that these are all of the hacks. That might be the best course of action. But these are the game sources, so technically these are console sources, and this is the generic data sources that we're using for WebType. How about... I'm thinking... Let's see here. We'll put this down as web doc, and then we'll change this to hack. Oh. Wedge page types enum dot hack. There we go. Now if we ran all of this. Oh, sitemap not found in DB. Okay. Let's see here. Value error. No sitemap found. Oh. Oh yeah, did I just... I did. Did I just... Yeah, I did. I canceled it out. Let's fix that again. The tag should be hacks. There we go. And, okay, where did it just vanished on me? Oh. One second. Did I just fork myself? Lowercase hacks, yeah. Lowercase hacks all the way through. That's in the tag section. Okay, self dot web page service. Let's get the cache. And the cache is missing. Where's the cache? Okay, let's restart. Let's restart. There we go. romhacking.net. Oh, database right here. We want to change this to Companies. .romhacking.code. There we go. Let's make sure that companies has, we're actually, that's actually pointing to the correct location. So it's just called ROM hacking. And here, our database is called ROM hacking. Okay, so that is correct. Oh, nope, nope, nope. What? Nope. My dog is bothering again. I don't know why. He likes to bark. Stop barking. Okay. Let's go ahead and run that. Let's get this all situated. Now let's get back into the parser. We'll go ahead and set it up. Oh. So we need to change this real quick. That might be a problem. One of the problems I'm having. So we'll call it DB parser. And let's get rid of it. Go ahead and get rid of you. Here it is, Selenium parser. Okay, this one. All right. And we want to go with, let's make sure that this is proper. There we go. All right, run. Nice, okay. Now for now, our tag has to be hacks because I forgot to set it. I'll have to update that. And then for our data type, this is simply going to be, where are you? Webpage. There we go. That, and then that should give us the list, which it does not. Let's see here. Okay. Did I mess something up here? Let's see here. Let's look around real quick. So ROM hacking, all lowercase. That should be the code. The website is fine. We don't have a description right now, so that's the code, ROM hacking. If we go here, it should be ROM hacking. Yes, ROM hacking. That means whenever we call the web page doc, it should come straight here. No ifs, ands, or buts. So when we now establish our connection, let's see here. If I do database right here, ROM hacking, yes. So far, this is all making sense. Here's web page service. Wait a minute. Am I not establishing web page service proper? I think I might. Let me look. I think I might have figured it out. Okay, let's fix that. All right. So let's see here. Let's head back to our DB parser real quick. So many things open up. Here we go. Okay. When we set up our web, here it is right here. This is the problem. I need to pass in the database information. We're not actually doing that. So the initialization code is all wrong in our parser. So let's go ahead and change this to that. Now, when we run this, it will solve our problem. There we go. And there's our data. Nice. Let's go ahead and run this. Okay, then. No sitemap found in DB. ROM hacking. Let's see. That's our... Oh yeah, this should be our list. We'll call this the hack list. A list of strings. A list of strings. Now we create this. I don't know why it was throwing errors earlier. Of course it doesn't exist. That's why you have to make it. And then from here, we can then do that. Data sources, ROM hacking. Oh, the tag should be... Actually, the tag, it should not be a tag. It should be this. Data source, it should be that. It should be that, and then we should save. Oh, okay. Why you crash you ye? Has no save attribute. Oh, got it. Got it. Okay, we need to copy that over to this function. I'm going to copy this entire thing. There. Okay. And no site map found in DB. In ROM hack, no sitemap found in DB. And that's a ROM hacking. I'm so deathly curious why that's throwing an error. Oh yeah, okay, I know why. There we go. It's because I set it up. Oh. Web page doc. Oh, okay, here we go. There we go. That's why the error is happening. Okay. Dumb error. Dumb error. All right, let's run this. There we go. Okay, and we get a validation error. All right. At least I can work with a validation error. Must be a string. Documents must... Oh. Yeah, I need to set this to the code. All right. And this requires a dictionary source. Okay. Let's get over here to the data structures real quick. Data sources, game, and then, I see. Okay. Yeah. It needs to be set up like a dictionary. The game source is here, so we really should... All right, well, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to split them up. These are games, these are theoretically game sources. They're not data sources. So we'll change this to game sources. Let's get into our document DF. Here it is. Platform right here. Perfect. We have the different platforms they're based on. We will split the data up into the individual platform and put it into our game hacking section. So let's do that. So what we'll do is, instead of that, let's see here. Okay. We'll call it the split DF in. Oh, okay. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. We want to find the unique ones, particularly in the platform section. Okay, then. Let's go ahead and pull this over here. So yeah, we want to find this in the platform section. So that's all of the different unique wait, NA. Wait, one of them is NA? Well, which one would NA be? We're gonna have to we're gonna have to figure out what that is. Okay, for now, what we'll do here is this all needs to be dealt with. So, let's see here. If I recall, I should have a function that would allow us to figure each individual enum out. So we'll go with for console in this. In this case, it should be the game console enum. Get enum by acronym. And then it should be console. Thank you very much. Oh. Annoying. Thank you. There. Go. Console is not defined. But oh, it bollocks. You annoying little. Okay, for there we go. Okay, run. Thank you. Hey, Andre. How's it going? Okay, so we're gonna have to update some of these a bit. There's a lot of nuns. An awful lot of nuns. Why don't we? Okay, I'm a bit curious. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a dictionary for this. And then that way, what I can do is I can put console out. Console, attach that there. We'll call this Bob. There we go. Now we can then investigate Bob. So, hey Bob, I see that VB for VB, DC, GB. Okay, let's start filling in our acronym list. Where are you, enum? You're in the core. Enum. Game console enum. Here we go. Oh, that's the categories. We want the consoles. That one. Okay, here we go. And I believe the third option is acronym, if I recall. And yes, the third one is acronym. So in here. Okay, so let's start filling this out. So GB for Game Boy. Where's the Game Boy? Here we go. Okay. GB. Actually, I'm a bit surprised that Game Boy didn't have GB in there. Well, to be frank, everybody does it a bit differently, so I'm not surprised. Next, Gen for Genesis. I have GNS. Ah, okay. So many different ways of writing that one. 32x. Okay. 32x. Next on the list is GC, so GameCube. And then any Nintendo DS, so oh, let's type in Nintendo NDS. Let's see here, where are you, DS? There's the 3DS. There's broadband kit. Okay, okay, where is the Nintendo DS? That's very strange. I see Nintendo 64, DD, Entertainment, Switch, PlayStation, Sega. There's the Wii and the Wii U. Don't tell me the DS is not in here. I think Mr. Meeseeks forgot one. Yeah, I think Mr. Meeseeks forgot one, even though it was put in the list originally. Okay then. Nintendo DS. This is known as DS. DS. Nintendo DS. There we go. There. The company who created it was Nintendo. It's a console with two screens with two displays. There we go. Okay. Perfect. So we have that set. So the DS is correct. Arcade, ARC. Arcade. Here we go. Arcade games. Saturn. Where's Saturn? Oh, we don't want to let Mr. Saturn down. He might come back and punch us. There it is. Okay. SAT, then the Wii. The Wii was fine. NA. Now this is the big one. NA. What is NA? We should check out the URL for that. Let's finish off. The last one is GG, which is Game Gear. So there it is, Game Gear. So this should be GG. There we go. Now then. So the enum is updated. We should be able to get all of these now. Oh, wait. Oh, whoops. Okay, there's a lot more. Okay. Okay, this is going to take forever. All right, where are you? There you are, Dreamcast. There. So DC WonderSwarm. Oh, there are mods for WonderSwarm games. That is awesome. I hope they're translations. There are a lot of fun WonderSwarm games out there, and I can't really play any of them because I don't speak Japanese. Let's see here, we have Wii U. There it is, WonderSwarm. The question is it WonderSwarm Color? I don't see WonderSwarm Color, so we'll just call this WW, or WS, I mean. This one is WonderSwarm Color right here. Jag for Jaguar. And then, okay, how many more left do we have? Okay, we're almost done. We're almost done. TurboGrafx is next. Here it is, TurboGrafx 6, TurboGrafx CD. So TGCD 2600. I'm a bit surprised that they just use 2600. They don't actually. There we go. Xbox 360. So Xbox. So XB 360. VB for Virtual Boy. So Virtual Boy. VB. Neo Geo CD. All right, now the next Atari one. So the 7800. Given the fact that these are most likely we'll run into this problem later, so I'm going to put 5200 here, and we'll put 7800 here. SG. What does SG stand for? I see FX. Let's look for FX. Is it PCFX? I don't think so. Not TurboGrafx. There's only two things here with FX built written into it. The SG1K and the SGFX. Let's go to romhacking.net and actually see what these categories are. Oh, how much do you bet non-selected is one of them? I'm kind of guessing, but here we go. This one. This is SG1K. Okay, then. What platform is this? The platform is the Sega SG1. The Sega SG-1000. Okay, then. Sega SG. Oh. Why don't we put an SG-1000? There it is, this one. And this is SG-1K. And then I'm guessing the other one is the Sega FX. But let's confirm it. Let's confirm it. Let's see here. There's 1000. Not that one. Zebo. No. The PC, actually, PCFX, no. Super Engine, PC Engine Graphics, no. You know what? Where are you up here? Platform. Oh, has it set to 34? Oh yeah, they have it set to 34. That makes things very difficult. That means we have to find it. Oh, I know. Let's set this to none selected. And then from here, we can do a quick search. Let's find a game that it's associated with. Let's see here. WebDocDF. We're looking for a platform which happens to be called SGFX. Now let's find all of the documents that are located in here. Oh, whoops. Let's find all the documents located in here. There we go. Okay, then. And we have two. This one and the other one. Okay, let's let me in. Let me in. Let me in. Let me in. Okay. And the console is called the SG. It is literally called SGFX. What is SGFX? What? I've never heard of. I don't think I've heard of this console. PCE, PC Engine. Okay then, it's another name for PC Engine. That means that... Wait, does that mean... Wait, does that mean that's... Alright, let's go up here. Where's PC Engine? Right... Oh. PC... Where are you, PC Engine? Come on, where are you? I think it might be this one here. The PCFX. I think this is the same as this. SGFX. Actually, where is the PC Engine on here? I see the TurboGrafx, the Turbo CD. Okay, I think it's that one. So with that in mind, we should be able to tag everything now with our enums. So with that in mind, extract table, okay. Let's get up here to our parser. So we do that, we pull out our documentation. What we'll then do is we will start creating a list of data. We'll go ahead and grab that. We do need the enum. Okay, we do need the enum. So what we'll do is, instead of calling it Bob, we'll call this the console enum list. There we go. We do not need that now. Let's just turn this into a list. There we go. So for console in this .unique, we're going to proceed to do that, and that should give us our list. So with that in mind, oh, I forgot, we need to deal with the none. Let's check about that none type real quick. If you remember, one of these had a none in it. I don't know where. We should probably look. Okay, let's do a quick search. Okay, let's see here. Here it is. If I remember, it said... Oh, I forgot what it said. I forgot. One sec. Let's generate that list again. Oh. Okay, then there it is, and it is n/a. Okay. So we're looking for n/a. There's a lot of them. What are your hacks? Who are you people? What console is this for? Hack for multiple games. Oh, that is a pain in the hiney. Why did you guys allow this? Pokemon Pure RGB. Okay then. This is all for Game Boy games, but it's currently defined as unknown platform. What about the next one? What about the next one? What about you? You are Space Invaders for the Game Boy. Okay, another game. This is a conversion one as well. These better not be all Game Boy games. If that's the case, then I think I'm gonna have to go talk to the Game Boy community and ask them what the balls. Come on, why you make things so complicated? What about you? And this is a... Oh, okay. All right then. This is not just the Game Boy. This happens to be for the Nintendo NES. So now that we know this, we will have to do something about this situation. Since it's unknown, I should probably add in an enum. Yeah, since it's unknown, I should probably add in an enum into the game consoles, and we'll just call this unknown. And then that way I can process it differently later. Unknown console. And it would be nice if I could spell properly. Undefined. There we go. Anything else we need? Nope, that is good. Okay. Oh yeah. This is the game console enum. This is the category section. Okay. This is the category section. Let's get out of it. I want the consoles. Thank you. Thank you. I knew something was a bit weird. Something was a bit fishy. Okay, unknown. So here we go. So we'll call this unknown console. The acronym is going to be N/A. And this is undefined. Oh, undefined and undefined. There we go. Okay then. So now that we have all that situated, if I rerun this, I should be able to pull out all of the ROM hack. Oh, wait. Almost forgot. Almost forgot. We need to do this. So, okay. Yeah, almost forgot. We're not done yet here. We now have that. So for console enum list, what we can then do is... Actually, you know what? I'm going to... I know I said I was not going to... Or I was going to keep this a list, but I actually think I need a dictionary. So we'll call this console. So this will be a dictionary, string with the game console enum. There we go. Everything is set. So now from here we can do items. Then we can do the console and then the console enum. And then from that, we can then proceed to start parsing things out. Web.df, platform. And let's see here. Last but not least, we want to put web. There we go. Oh, there we go. And we want to also do the. This should be the URL. And as usual, I have to change. I'll update that in a sec. There we go. So this will be our hack list. And then with that in mind, we'll create a, let's see here. Since we're going to create this at create or get, so that should be there at the beginning. And this should be there. This will now be the console. This is console enum right here. There it is, console enum.code. Hack list. There we go. So this should work now. So when we go through, we'll parse out all of the hacks and put them in these different locations. And then we can pull the data out later. I believe since... This will rewrite itself every single time. So instead of making this the... instead of making this the... I'm thinking... I be thinking... Because we also want to append other data as well. For instance, the translations. We want to put the translations in here. So with that being said... how about we do an extend here? Actually, let's do this. I know what we'll do. If we'll call this the game list. There. If we can get the game list, then we will extend it. Like so. And theoretically I can, because of the fact that we pulled it out, I can just extend game list right here. So game list. Oh, I'm going to copy it. A moment. Okay then. Game list. Otherwise, what we'll do is we'll do that, and then it will equal hack list. There we go, like that. Perfect. Nice. So now if we run this, we should get everything situated. So let's go ahead and reset everything. Let's go back to square one. There. Oh. Oh, quit being a... There we go. Oh yeah. Quit being a setup. Thank you. Thank you. Okay then. Being an annoying pissant. That's what that is doing. That is what that is doing. Now then, we're down here. So now that we're at the, we don't want to be in the DB parser. We want to be in the Selenium parser. Right here. So our data type should be web, there it is, web page. Our tag should be hacks. Let's run this entire thing now. Why does it look like it worked? Let's see, game facts. Let's refresh everything. And I'm noticing a lack of data sources. Okay, that's not that. It's not that. Alright, I guess... Where's the data now? Let's refresh one more time. Okay, where is it? Where's our data? Okay, where's the data? Where be you, data be? We ran save. So this is the game sources document. The game sources documents. That means we're using our... Let's see here. Console date doc game sources. Where's our create? Here it is. Data. This one. We're using the data sources database. So it should be going to our database in question. Our database in question happens to be, well, our ENA. Oh, actually, Yeah, it happens to be here. This happens to be our enum. ROM hacking. ROM hacking. So that means there should be another file here. Yeah, there should be another file in ROM hacking, which should be called data sources. But it's not showing up. Where's save? Right here. Data sources, save to list. What does this look like? Okay, nothing's in there. What about doc? There we go. Okay, Game Boy. It did not run for some reason. Interesting. All right, let's see here. It threw an error at the key error. So there's a key error called Game Boy. All right. Does that mean that our list is still not... Yeah, our list is still not done. There are still nuns. There are still so many nuns. NDS didn't work. I don't know why. And we missed P Mini. But Game Boy was the one that threw an error. GB, Game Boy. Okay, what was the error exactly? Key error, Game Boy. All right. Data sources. Let's check this one out as an example. This one, these had space. I think it might be, but these had spaces, so it should be fine. That means these ones should, yeah, this has a space as well. So the boy should be fine. So wonder why it threw an error. Wonder why it threw an error. Game Boy is there. Game source error, value error. Okay, key error, Game Boy. All right, let's see here. First things first, console is Game Boy. The console code is Game Boy. The game sources is... Oh, actually, one moment. Let's go back to data sources real quick. I currently have them set to map fields. But it doesn't really matter because it's not an enum. So it's a map list field. So it really shouldn't matter. Yeah, it really, really should not matter. All right. Actually, let's go ahead and just try and... Well, first things first. Let's fix these major problems here. This one apparently threw a complaint. Don't know why. NDS is still throwing a complaint. Let's go to our consoles. If I recall, we put NDS at the top. Yeah, there it is, Nintendo DS. Then we have DS. We need to put an N there. NDS. We'll put DS right there as well. Okay then, so solve that problem. P Mini. Here it is, Pokemon Mini. We'll call this the P Mini. And last but not least is the NA. Oh, this should be lowercase. Yeah, okay. This needs to be lowercase. I'm doing everything in lower. So that explains that problem. Okay. All right, that should solve those. Let's go ahead and run this again. There and here. ROM hacking net, nice. Let's head over to our parser. There. So the tag is hacks. The data type is web page. Let's just go ahead and run it all by ourselves like this. Oh, self is not defined. There we go. Now let's run this. There we go. We have an error with Game Boy. PlayStation. Okay then. Nintendo 64. Let's check our other scraper real quick. This one. Because we were setting it up. We set up the same thing here. Not data sources. Game sources right here. Console.code. And then we were extending. Yeah, right here. So we're doing the exact same thing we were doing that we just did in the other one. So if game sources, if we cannot get that console's game sources, then we will run it. So if we should probably do it that way then. There we go. If we can get it, then we can extend it. If not, then we will make it. Okay. That might actually be what the problem is. Maybe. And there we go. Yeah, that was the problem. All right. Now if we go into our data section, we refresh. There's our data sources. Nice. All right. This is currently empty, but this one, check it out. We have lots of consoles. We have lots of hacks. So many different fun ones. If we go to Game Boy, we can find, here's a list of all the hacks that are available for Game Boy. Here's a list for all of this Game Boy Advance. Man, it's Nintendo. Oh. Oh boy. I think I know what the most popular hacked console is on romhacking.net. Nintendo Entertainment System wins by 3383. It is ludicrously popular. It overshadows every other console. Let's see, almost every other console. Nope. Nope, it overshadows every console. Okay then, now that we have this, we have that set up, what we can now do is head back over to our scraper, because the whole purpose of this is so that the whole idea is that we can keep the parser separated from the scraper. Then the scraper, all it has to worry about is interfacing with the internet. The parser can worry about the database stuff. The only thing that the scraper is doing is saving web pages. It's accessing, it's accessing our data sources to find out where it needs to work. But then the second thing is it's going in and it's scraping. So with that in mind, let's see here. We have web page service here. Yeah, we need the web page service. Next, and we need the data source service. So let's go ahead and load up our GameFAQs scraper. Here it is. And let's copy a little bit of the code. For instance, here we need these two. So let's go ahead and copy and paste them over here into our scraper. There we go. And then the next thing we need to do is bring over, here it is, this. Let's expand this out. There we go. And then last but not least, let's see here. We have download. This is GameFAQs. So here we go. This one. So we do have download sitemap. That's not really a sitemap. It's just the main page. But then this is download the latest ROMs. And then here we have extraction lists, which will extract out all the tables for us. There's our hacking page, our homebrew, our utilities. I believe, oh yeah, I know why it's like that. I know because this is actually how romhacking.net classifies its different sections. Translations and hacks, that's what it's defined. That's why it is defined hacks there. For us, I think what we'll do is, well, now that I know, or now that I remember, we'll keep it as it is for now, but we'll have to update the code down the road. But the main point is here. So this is extract the table, the tables of the different sections. So now this will be the project page download feature functions, because all of the different they're classified as projects in romhacking.net. So these, we want to download all of the different projects and save the pages to their respective sections. We started writing code that would do something kind of like that here. Here it is right here, extract game data. This is what we kind of started working on right here. In this case, we just need to save the product page. So let's see here. I will have to define some history. We can worry about that in a bit later. For now, let's just get to extracting. First things first, we want to acquire our data here, this one. Yep, right here, this one right here. Define download download project page. In this particular case, I think let's see here, download project page by console. This will be console. Games. Oh. Game console enum. There we go. A bit surprised that it's not here. There. And then from here, what we can do is we can find our sitemap, because that's what we saved it as. We'll get our data source. Then from here, we'll go grab our console of interest. That'll give us a list of all of the URLs. And then from here, we'll then want to start running through them. So for project page in, I'm going to change the name of this so that we know what it is better. So this will be project page URL list. So for the project page in the project page URL list, what we'll want to do is we'll want to go to said website. So self.selenium driver, go to URL, project page. We'll sleep for, I don't know, 15 seconds. I think 15 would be good. And then from here, we'll then proceed to do what we normally do, which would be that. Oh, and ha. Okay, well, perfect. Actually, we'll do that right there. Like that. Okay. We don't need to worry about the page number. Yeah, we don't need to worry about the page number. We could do the URL for the ID. I think that would be the most logical. So our... Oh. So what I'm going to do for this ID, this will be project page. That's the ID. For the tag, we will, since this is a hack, this is also in the hacking. Yeah, this is a hack, but in the hacking section. Oh, yeah, we need to copy that over. I'll call this, we'll call this hack for now. Or, we'll put hacks for now. It needs to be changed, though. We need to update it to be more dynamic. Then we'll download the current page, we'll put the document into the save feature, then we'll wait for a difference between 14 to 22 seconds. Okay, let's do this. Let's run this. All right. So far, so good. We're done with the parsing. We don't need to worry about the companies. ROM hacking. Okay, then. In this case, we want the scraper. Here it is, this one. All right. We should probably pick a console that is not that doesn't have a huge amount. The last thing I want to do is start going through the NES one and be bamboo, or because we're not done. We haven't programmed in the timer yet for this scraper, or the time limit, or we haven't programmed in anything about history. We're trying to make us if I had to call it something, it is a nice scraper. I don't want this website to be hit so frequently that it causes chaos on their end. I don't want to DDoS them. I just want to gradually just kind of meander through and extract out different file names. So that's what the idea would be, is to do that. We can extract out the project page. Actually, one thing I would also like to do, I would love to do the download and then save it. I think I'm going to have to... This is actually hidden behind a wall. It is... If you click download, it will... Oh, never mind. It's different for different... It's different for different webs, or for different hacks. Got it. That's going to be a pain in the hiney. That's going to be a big pain in the hiney. Okay then, let's find one more hack. I'm going to go to let's go to 11. Here you go, the definitive edition of Wily. Yeah, they're not... Why is it sending me everywhere else except the... This is very strange. Mario in M2. There we go, finally. This sent me to Google Drive. Okay, alright. Okay, I feel like they might have changed something recently. Because I remember when you click download, it would actually send you to the server would host the downloads. It looks like they might have separated. That means we're going to have to really up our extraction code a bit. I was going to say let's download all of the files at the same time, but it doesn't look like that might be possible. I can probably extract out the download link. Yeah, I can. So we'll have to do that separately, which is a pain in the butt. For now, let's just go ahead and start extracting out the different consoles. If I remember, Game Boy, no, PC. PSP. All right, let's do PSP. PSP console. All right, so we want to... So we'll download project pages by console, and then we'll put in our PSP. There it is, PSP. Okay. So let's see how this fares. Oh, first one. War of the Lions. Okay. All right. I think we might have made it a bit too generous. Okay, what's the next one? Oh, there we go. Okay. Missing, here we go. Missing argument. Data type. Oh, okay. We forgot to put in the data type. All right, let's get rid of this. What am I doing? Come on, collapse or minimize everything. Come on. Let's get rid of that. Here we go. We're missing data type. Okay. All right, so this happens to be games console, or not game console. This will be, where are you? Web page doc. And we'll call it hacks for now. Oh, this should be the enum. Let's see here, web page, there it is, web page type enum, and then should be hack. There we go, okay. Let's go ahead and run this. Oh. There we go. And it should run through now. Yep, there we go. Nice, it's working. So we have created this document here and put it in. Yes, so we navigated to the website via that tab, and then we've logged in and we saved, and now we've done the next one. So this is moving pretty well. And this should go how many times? PSP 21 times. Okay. Oh yeah, we forgot to put this at the end. So we'll have to save it at the very end. Yeah, we forgot to do that. We're creating the documents, but we haven't saved them yet. Given the amount of files, I might need to change it so that it saves a certain amount. Every time we hit a certain limit, we save. Because this is going to be a lot of data. Well, okay, maybe not that much data. Let's let that run. All right. That is good. That is very nice. Things are moving quite smoothly. We did have a bit of an issue with the earlier bits, but I think it's going well now. But yeah, things are moving well. All right. Let's see. This is going to take forever. which one are we on now? Still War of the Lion. Wait, how many War of the Lions are we? How many of these hacks are there? I am not a fan of 2.52 of this hack. I'm really not. I don't want to go back up. I don't want to use that one because they tried to remove a lot of the underlying code with, or okay, so for the Final Fantasy Tactics tweaks that we just saw, originally they were just trying to simplify some of the code and make it a bit easier for playing and fix a couple bugs because there were quite a bit of different variables that resulted in errors. And that was perfectly fine. I really enjoyed that, just fixing up all of the bugs and such. But then eventually, when they started going into 2.52, they decided that they wanted to make it so that everybody could use everything at all times. So the female characters could use all of the female equipment and the male equipment, and then all the male characters could use all the male equipment and the female equipment. And if you want everything to be identical, that makes, that's perfectly fine. But if you want to kind of engage in the ludicrousness of the details in Final Fantasy Tactics, then that just removes a hidden layer of stats and data that you have to contend with. So yeah, I didn't like the dumbing down once it went to 2.52. I shall forever use the 2.02 patch because that way at least I can keep some of the silliness that made Tactics so fun. The Vile music fix. Oh my. What did they do here? Maverick Hunters X replaces the music. Remove the repetition of his theme. Oh, I see. Okay. There's apparently a problem with the audio. Got it. We get the idea. It's running. We know it's going to do this forever. Okay. I think the next step here is we need to write a new parser. Now this is going into the database parser here. So let's see here. Parse game info right here. This belongs here in the ROM hacking data. All right. I see a, yeah, the parsing the game info is what we need. Because this will be creating a new file. We'll finally be working, or it's taken quite a bit of time, but we finally started extracting all our data. We were first just stuck extracting out sitemap data, extracting out the little bits of data here and there for building up our database, our data structure, and now we're finally able to start extracting the actual data we want. And from here we can start digging in and start parsing out everything else. I think, well, okay, I shouldn't say I think, I know that we'll be soon moving. I might have to start looking up the Django. Why don't we do a quick peek at that while we're waiting? Let's see here. Well, we want the framework. This should be making an app. Django is a high-level Python web framework that encourages rapid development and clean, pragmatic design. Okay then. I have never worked with the Django before. So we need to figure out all sorts of things. The tutorial. Oh yes. Actually, I wonder what the better option is. Django or Flask? Let's check that out. What is better? Let's see here. Python Flask or Django? I wonder which is better. Here we go. Which framework should we use? Oh, we should use JavaScript. That would be perfect. JavaScript. Let's see. Python. Code Academy. I've, Code Academy, your website kind of sucks. Yeah, your website kind of sucks. This is supposed to be a comparison between the two. Yet you have no tables that compare the two. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for. A table. Flask is easier. I see. Hey, Code Bomb. How's it going? How's it going? Flask is easier. I kind of thought so. I remember somewhere in my brain, Flask was kind of the easier option. Doing well, doing well. So far, our code is, our extracting of our code is, or I should say of our data, is running quite smoothly. We've managed to be able to set it up so we've extracted out all of the different ROM hack data. So here you can see all of the different projects. And now I've started extracting out the actual projects. So if we hop into here, we should probably, oh, we're not done extracting yet. I'm currently, no, actually we just finished. Oh, talk about good timing. Okay, if I refresh, where's the data? Where are you, data? Oh yeah, I know, I forgot. I haven't ran this important function yet because I forgot to put it in there. There we go. Okay then. Yes, you're right. Now I need to actually download them. There we go. Now that it's no longer in memory, there. All of the hacks. So here you can see this is the project. We know that it's a hack. And if you go in, and we'll start writing the parser for extracting it. But here it is pretty much. We can get out our description. We can get out the all of the information about it, the ISO information. I was hoping to... Actually, that just worked. Okay, oh, and I see... Let me also minimize that page. Where are you, page? Here, this one. Minimize. Yeah. So, yeah, it actually saved, which is a bit... So I'm going to have to figure out if this actually saves the file, then fantastic. That's great for me. If it doesn't, but sends me somewhere else, I'm going to have to write code to parse that out. So, yeah, I'll have to figure out what to do. I wonder if there's a way to streamline this process. Flask versus Django is covering. Yeah, I noticed. I saw. So yeah, I was running this bit of code right here, and I forgot to add this in, so we ran it, but then just running that, and we can save it. Yeah, that's true. That is the idea. That's what I plan to do. I know that we can... I know that I can pull out the hack data. For instance, I can just get a list of all of the DLC files and proceed to try and download them. In fact, I'm very tempted. Why don't we try that right now? Well, there's a lot of minutia that I have to figure out because they don't want people just randomly downloading all these. So the first download is typically free. Yeah, the first download is typically free, but then afterwards it'll send you to a please log in. You can only download X amount per login. So I have to write some code that will see if I can get a particular, if it actually is a download link. Let's see here. Where does this actually point to anyway? It just says download. Run hacks download. I'm very tempted. Let's see. I want to see. If I go to download, /hacks. Okay then. Alright, so why don't we just go with download then? Okay, yeah. So it is a hidden HTML area. Got it. Hey, no default index page exists for download module. Okay. Good enough. Good to know. So yeah, if this heads to the download module, then everything is fine. If it sends me out, then I will have to figure out what to do. So that one's a download one. This one is a download one as well. Actually, good question. If I recall, there should be one that we were just looking at. Is it this one, I think? Nope, nope, that's not that one. It downloaded fine. That means it might be this one. Oh, they're all downloading. Okay, then we'll... Where's the link? Where's the down one for the U maybe? All right, never mind. Okay. Is it you at least? Okay, here we go. Okay, finally. Okay then, so clicking the download module page, well, still, it could potentially lead to an actual download file, which would be nice, or it could lead to it could be an external link that goes out somewhere else. So I'm going to have to write a way to delineate the two. Yeah, I'm going to have to delineate the two, but we can at least access that page, and if I look, I do see some overlap. Yeah, it does. I wish it didn't. I wish that they all were stored here, but not all of them will do that. And some of them will actually put the download link within the description as well. I don't remember which one it is exactly. I think it might have been one of the PlayStation 2 ones. Where are you? There you are. PlayStation 2. Is it Jade Cocoon Plus? No, it's not that one. I did see a password. Oh my. I did see a password. Why? Okay, then. I will have to acknowledge that as well. Okay, it's one of these. Maybe Aerosmith? Okay, there's one of these in here somewhere. I don't know, but the main point is that they did not put it in the link section. They actually put it here in the description. So that's another thing I'm going to have to take into account for. Find all links and see where they lead on the page. But for now, let's see, for now. Oh. Anyway, for now, let's go ahead and start writing out our parser. We'll keep that open. We'll keep that open because we need to. This is a DB parser. So if we go in, so all of that code is fine. Parse table, this is a database thing, so we don't need to worry about parsing the ROM table. This will be the project parsing functions. Actually, one of the major things also is that we're now at the point we're going to have to start building our new Mongo data sources. Because right now we have our docs, which is this one right here, ROM hacking. We need to start filling this out. Oh boy. Because what we're now parsing is the front end of the data. This is one reason I started looking up Flask and Django. You said Flask was easier. Let me take a quick peek at that again. Let's see here, Flask. Welcome to Flask. Python version, dependencies, a minimal application. Okay. So import Flask, then we do app route Mongo. Okay. For big what I see. So if I want to make this gigantic, I will need to use Django. I guess I'm going to start learning how to do it with Flask because I'm not a front-end developer. I don't develop front-end, and as such, I need to really learn how to do that. I have made many GUIs in my day. I like to use the tkinter GUI interface thing. Well, okay. I also like using PyQt6. I think PyQt6 is easier to use, but tkinter and PyQt6, that's usually what I like to use. I never use these, so yeah, I think it should not be too difficult. I would like to assume it's not going to be difficult, but you never know with these things. Let's see here, routing. So there's a lot of to the apps, variable names, URL building. Okay then. Cookies. Okay, all right. This should be, I will have to read this. Oh. You want to see something? You want to see something? You want to see something funny and extremely irritating? So, if you remember earlier, I was trying to create an enum. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You might. So let's see here. Where are you? In the MongoDB documents. Right here, enum fields. So if you remember, if you were on the stream earlier, over the course of the week and a bit that I've been programming this, you'll notice that I've been trying to write these enum fields in Python. The idea is that I want to make it so that a lot of the data is controlled by a very static, enumerator. And I didn't actually know how to do this, so I thought, hey, why not see how well ChatGPT can do this? So I tossed it in, said, hey, I want to, what do I need to know in order to make an enum map field on the Mongo engine? And it told me to do this right here. So I did this. I ran the code and it looked like it worked. Awesome. It saved perfectly fine. However, for some strange reason, I keep getting an error. I keep getting a very specific type of error too. In fact, I've been getting it so frequently, I actually uploaded it to Stack Overflow asking for help. So here's the error that it produces. Once I try to resave it, it goes none type attribute. No attribute have reverse DB field map. And I'm like, why is this happening? What is going on? So I went back into here to try and find out what does that mean. And ChatGPT has no freaking clue. It's never heard of this before. Like, what? It doesn't know what this problem is. In fact, every time I ask it to solve it, it ends up just trying to tell me to do more and more stuff that is even worse than before. For instance, it said that, oh, you know what the problem is? You're not doing more validation for your instances. Like, but that's not the problem. Oh, I know. You have to do more converting. And like, that's not the problem. And so I keep telling it, it's not correct. It's not correct. And it just doesn't work. So someone mentioned try Grok. Try Grok 4. It is supposed to be, it's the latest model. It's super intelligent. It should solve all my problems. So I threw it in. I threw this exact problem in here. Here's all the code. I told it this results in this particular error here. Find out what the problem is. And guess what? Guess how Grok responded? It told me Absolute bollocks. It has no freaking clue what the problem is. So I am still trying to. I am now going through the. I'm actually going through the documentation and sifting through how Mongo Engine works so that I can solve this because Grok 4 doesn't know how to solve this problem. ChatGPT doesn't know how to solve this problem. And everyone keeps saying that these are going to replace people. They're going to solve all your programming woes. Well, the very first question I gave it, and it doesn't even know what the hell I'm talking about. So yeah, this is hilarious. So yeah, I thought this was, kind of a funny thing to point out. Like, sure, okay. I mean, uh, yeah. It's I'm so yeah, I will figure it out eventually. They're no help. So yeah, I'm very apprehensive about asking them to write something in Flask now because they might give me something that will, I don't know, set my computer on fire because apparently they don't know that they're good enough to write general BS but not good enough to actually do anything. Yeah, I wish that most of the companies out there would realize that because right now they're all racing to the bottom to and they'll quickly realize that this is not how you should be using AI tools. AI should be AI should be autocomplete. You know, you want to have code completion pretty much. It should be used by knowledgeable programmers to quickly complete uh, functions, to complete for loops, a bunch of these tasks. It can't replace actual working brains. But yeah, I know the company I used to work for, they actually did not renew my contract because they wanted to replace me with AI. So here's to hoping that they don't run into the problems I am. But I digress. I digress. Let's see about installing Flask and getting this running. So let's see here, Flask. Here we go. So we're going to need to install a couple different forms of Flask. We're going to need the original one. Oh, there's a Flask app builder. What is this? Why does it look like there's going to be a lot of features available or a lot of versions available? Partial support for MongoDB using Mongo Engine. Oh my. Oh yeah. That is a big thing as well. Where is here it is. Flask PyMongo. Flask Mongo. Here we go. This one. A Flask extension that provides integration with Mongo Engine. Okay, we need this. Okay, alright, we know what we need to download. Alright. Since we're using Mongo Engine, let's go ahead and install Flask. Hey, Soham, how's it going? Doing well, doing well. We have just started extracting out our data. Actually, let's go ahead and run more of doing this because it works so smoothly. Let's see here. Here it is, our scraper. Our console. We did the PSP. Yeah, we did PSP. So what should our next one be? I need to. It's not fully done yet. I need to set in a once you get to a certain volume of downloads, then save it in a separate spot. So I do need to do that, but we can at least this one. So we did PSP because they were 21. Why don't we do? Oh, how about we do GameCube? All right, we'll do GameCube next. There it is, GameCube. All right. Now let's go ahead and start downloading GameCube games. There we go. Now, if we go here, it should. There we go. First GameCube game, Shadow Mario Story. Nice. Okay, let's start saving that. Are you using let's see here. What are you going to do using Flask, by the way? Are you making a web interface for your scraper? Actually, I'm actually going to keep the scraping on the back end, so I don't want to actually build an interface to do that. Ideally, at the end, I will be using Rundeck to do all the interfacing, because Rundeck already has its own GUI interface. So Rundeck will be doing the back end. This is the front end, so I can actually go through my database and see what data is available, what data is, pretty much which ROMs are available. All right, see you later, Soham. Soham, have a good one. C++, good luck. Oh, be careful. C++ is like playing with fire. Be careful with that. It is very fun, but ooh. I have had a memory leak before and blue screened my computer. But yeah, that's the idea. The idea is that once I extract out all the data, I want to be able to visualize it and see what ROMs are available and which ones are present. And ultimately, let's see here. If we go to, I have something called NLP right here. So this is going to be the processing code. And what it will effectively do, here's NLP right here as well. So what this is effectively going to do is it will flesh out the data, it'll give us like, it'll flesh out the data. It will tell us about what is connected where, which ROM hacks will work with others. And pretty much it will just be a nice interface to kind of see. So currently the idea is I would click and say, oh, I want to see what PlayStation games have hacks. I see that Final Fantasy Tactics has hacks. And then I can then start seeing a list of the hacks. And then when I click on one, it will give me the project information saying this is what the hack does. This is the file that you will need to apply if you want to apply it. And these are the other hacks that it's compatible with. As in, this bug fix hack is compatible with this other tweaking hack, but it's not compatible with the sprite replacement one or something. And then that way I will know, oh, this one hack will work great with these other ones. If I want to run with it, I will have to apply all of them. And then it will also give me the CRC code for the hacks together. That will have to be done on my end, though. Most of them do not provide those types of data. For instance, well, okay, if I'm aware, if I'm not fully aware, I will. Actually, I need to upload some of the hacks I've done. But yeah, pretty much the idea. That's what the idea for the Flask was going to be. Yeah, my dogs are being nuisances. They're getting. No, lay down, come on, lay down, no, lay down, no, lay down. You too, lay down. Come on. Okay, all right. Okay, so let's see here. First things, we install Flask. We'll install the latest one, and then we'll need to install Mongo Engine Flask. There it is, this one. We'll install 1.0. Any other Flask versions we need? GraphQL. I've been seeing that all over the place, but I don't actually know what GraphQL is. Okay. Let's see here, you. What is GraphQL? A query language for your API. Type project. It's a query language that I run on top of the database. Wait, is this another way? Is this another way of interfacing with SQL databases? 2015, so it's been around for quite a while. Implementations is in Java, Ruby, and Scala. Oh, that might be why. Okay, then. All right. And it is for SQL databases. Got it. That might be because I don't. The only Java I mess with is the one for Minecraft. I don't actually. I don't actually work physically with Java for many things. Okay, so this is why I haven't heard of it. And it's a graphical implementation. It's for APIs. I see, got it. Oh boy, this reminds me of Microsoft Access. When I had to use Microsoft Access all the way back then, this is exactly how they would do their database connections. You would establish all the connections via a graph, and then from there you would then run with it, and you'd then write your code to run with it. Got it. Okay. I see. So I might be, if I don't think I'm going to be using it for this project, but I'll definitely have to keep that in mind for later projects. So yeah, I don't think we need the GraphQL. I think that might be everything we need. SQL Alchemy. Haha. If we're going to connect to an SQL database, that would be the Flask I would use. All right then. So the first thing to do. All right. So let's see here. This should be a. All right. This is not a core component. This is not a NLP. This is not language processing. This is going to be its own thing. So what we should probably do is we should call this the front end. There we go. Front end, and then we'll... Oh, front end, and I guess we'll call this Flask for now. There we go. And with that being said, let's go ahead and create a Python function. And we'll call this the main page. Actually, how does Flask work? Again, let's get back there again. Let's get back here. Okay. So I can pull in localhost. Okay, to the top. A minimal Flask application. This looks something like this. We import Flask. We then create an app. Then at the app, we do the route. We then define a function, which will then print, and in this case, it's print hello world. So I have a suspicion that if I run this and then I go to the website that they are suggesting, I'm guessing it would be localhost, then at the top would immediately see hello world. I see the P2P, which is HTML code. So I think that might be, I think that might be it. The function returns a message. Oh, okay. Why don't we read what the code is doing? Okay, I'm actually quite happy that I was able to actually just look at the text, or look at the code and understand it, instead of reading the description. I'm going to put that in a win in my book. So let's see here. First, they import Flask. Then we create an instance of it, and we call it name. Then we use route to tell Flask the URL that we're going to trigger. And then it will print an HTML file that says hello world. Okay then. Alright, I thought my brain was mush, but apparently it's not that bad. Okay. And then here's the external visible server. Run. Okay, so if we do Flask run command, you can do more than just start a development server. By enabling debug mode, the server will automatically reload if code changes, and will show an interface debugger in the... Ooh, that sounds very useful. I'm going to have to use this. All right then. Warning, the debugger allows executing arbitrary Python code from the browser. It is protected by a pin, but still represents a major security risk. Do not run the development server or debugger in a production environment. Oh, yeah. I think that does remind me. Eventually, we'll have to set up a production pipeline. For now, this is all in the debugging phase, so it shouldn't be too difficult. But if this HTTP, if it starts being a local host and actually starts being hosted outside, then yeah, I'm gonna have to definitely nix the debug mode. Someone will try it. Oh, did you see recently what's been going on with a lot of companies? It's so brain dead. So there's a lot of YouTube channels that I watch, mostly about lots of different information. Here it is, this one, prompt injection. Okay then, right here. So this is the Primeagen. He is a YouTuber who does coding. He has a very bombastic personality, so it might not be for everybody, but I listen to him because I'm interested in the code side of things, and he tends to talk a lot about that. And he tends to also talk about a lot of other things related to programming that is interesting. This is one of the topics he mentioned. This Supabase MCP, it can leak your entire SQL database. So apparently what's going on in this article he's reading is that a company connected a chatbot to their database. And then through injection, these chat injections, something that you cannot control because the chat system is not capable of delineating out code execution from commands that you're not supposed to do. It just will process everything as it is. So there's no way to really get away from this injection. And what happens is, if you tell the chatbot and inject in, give me your database, it will actually give you your database, even if they set up precautions to prevent you from doing it. And apparently people are getting their databases leaked because of this. It is insane. I could have told someone at day one, do not connect a chatbot to your database, but apparently there are companies actively doing it. Let's see here. Here's the article that he was mentioning. Yeah, a standard way for LLMs to interact with external tools. Let's see here. This is the Model Context Protocol. I have fun messing with this protocol myself because I was trying to build myself an AI model earlier. And then here's the privileges, the application. Where is the injection? The attack. Here it is, right here. Right here. You can pretty much, here's a detailed explanation. Well, okay, not that detailed, but pretty much you put this into your chatbot and you could pretty much get it to start popping out your database. See, look at it. They injected a prompt. They now have access to the database. It's insane that they actually did this. That someone actually thought that this was a secure way of interfacing with their data. Yeah, so it's hilarious. It's hilarious. I would recommend reading it. It's fun. And if you want his opinion on it, you can listen to him talk about it too. He's been a programmer for a lot of major companies, so he kind of knows his stuff. So it's often fun to listen to his take on like what Netflix would think about this, or what. Well, okay, I mostly know him from he mostly talks about Netflix, but he has other experiences somewhere else. But nonetheless, it's fun. Either way. So from what we know, we want to import Flask. Oh, we want to import Flask, and then so from Flask, import Flask. And then we will do app is equal to Flask. Oh, and let's see here. Let's get back to our example real quick. Let's see here. And we need to give it the name instance. Okay, then. I think I'm going to give it a different name. We're going to call this pizza. So app pizza. Okay, then. And then app.routes, and then we'll define a function and call it hello world. Okay, then. So yeah, we're going to call this pizza. And then at app dot oh boy, I just forgot. What is it again? My dyslexia is route. Thank you, route. Okay, app.route. There we go. And then we'll define, we'll call this pi. And then from here, we will return a text, which will happen to be a, well, let's see here, and then we'll call it pizza pie. I think that like that. Isn't that how they did it? I know I should be copying and pasting, but one only, okay, arrows. Yeah, I know I should be copying and pasting, but there's a reason why I'm not doing that. There's a reason why I'm not doing that. And the reason why is because our brains will remember things when you actively do them. Oh, we should probably load up a new, here, we'll load up this one. There we go. So let's go find ourselves an app. Let's see here. I'm guessing localhost. Nope. Okay, let's get back over to the documentation real quick. Okay, so it all stems from how your brain works. Your brain remembers things through repetition. So if you copy and paste, you might remember the reference, and you might remember the copy and the paste, but it's not going to remember this layout and this information here. And that can sometimes cause trouble. Okay, well, let's go ahead and 127.001. I will copy this one. I know it's a bit big a hypocrite here, but that's something. Okay. I don't really need to remember the typing of that. But for remembering the app route, yeah, I definitely need to type this because otherwise I will forget. And then we'll be hunting for the documentation again. Let's see here. Run the application and with the app hello run. Ah, I see. This is command line code. I get it. So this means this is going to be outside of This is outside of Python. Got it. That means I'm going to have... That's going to be quite... All right. That explains the name that they put in here. Because that's what gets called when you... Okay, then that's what gets called when you actually run this outside of your file. So that means I'm going to have to create a different environment. Terminal, where are you? Here you are. Okay, then. We are here. You can use Python M flat. Okay, oh. All right, then. Don't use Flask. Okay, okay. And then we should probably put an app. And then Pi. I think... Let's see here. Let's see here. Okay, and we need to put run there. All right, so Pi run. Oh, Python not. What do you mean Python not found? We're in the virtual environment. Oh, maybe it's Python 3. No module name yeah, okay. Why are you not behaving? We're in the appropriate environment. Let's see here. You don't need to use Flask. Oh, okay. Okay. Let's see here. I need to find out why it's not seeing Python in our virtual environments. Let's see. I need Flask installed. It should be installed. We just installed it, I believe. Yeah, there it is, right there. Flask and Mongo Engine Flask. This is our interpreter. Actually, what about our virtual environments? That's our, yeah, that's the interpreter. Where's our virtual environment then that we're running in? That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I'm in a different environment, which is why I'm wondering how do I set it so that it will. Yeah, I'm wondering how I can set it so that it knows that we're the environment we're supposed to be using. Because theoretically, this should be the environment right here. Actually, what is? Well, Python 3 is installed. Okay then, let's see here. Let's go to front end and Flask. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. This might actually be more beneficial. I'm thinking about it. This might actually be better off this way because I want the back end to be separate from the front end. So if I cannot get things to work just by running through the command line, that means that there's an issue with the code. It should not have to have. Again, I don't want it. I want to try and keep things as separate as possible. So let's see here. So now we have Flask installed. Let's try and run this code here. Oh, could not import Py. Try flat. Okay. Okay, yeah, so we need to use Python 3. It's like. Let's see here. Oh, and let me minimize this here. There we go. Looks like this, or Python 3. Yes, it says here Python run option, Python m Flask run. Oh, how much do you bet it might? It could not find Py. Yeah. Keep things nice and safe. Let's try and do run. That's not it. This is yeah, that's not it. Oh, could not import run. Okay. Let's see, how do I run this through Python? We're not using Flask. Let's go with Python. All right. I want to keep that open, but let's go to Python Flask and see if we can find. Okay, I don't trust you geeks, but I don't trust you, geeks, but let's at least see what if you have anything good to say. Okay, you don't have anything. You failed me. You failed me. How could you, geeks? You failed me. Okay, here we go. Right here. Python server pi. Oh, maybe I just need to run the file code, the file name then. Ask Gemini how to use with it. Because here's the same code right here, and then if you want to deploy it, they just run Python and then the server.py. You can't send it here. Oh. I see, I see. So you're trying to send something. Got it, got it. Hmm. Alright, let's try this real quick. What did I call this? Main page.py? Or main page.py? Okay, I don't... Let's try something. Nope, it did not work. Oh, will you piss off? No. Go away, Firefox. Go on. We don't want you. Go on. Okay, then. Okay, yeah, that didn't work. Okay, maybe I'll do what you suggest. Let me do a quick peek here. App route, hello world. Oh, they added this at the end. So why don't we do that too? So if name is equal to main, we will do a we'll run pi like that. Oh, and we have to do a .run as well. Or I think it should be app.run. Or app.py. Unresolved reference. Well, pi's right there. It has pi. I can guarantee it. It's right there. All right. Okay. Flask attribute. Okay, then. Okay. Let's see here. Print hello world, and they just... Okay, they just do run. All right. Okay, just run. All right, just run. Oh, okay. It looks like it's running now. There it is. Okay, it's working. We have it up there and running. Okay, perfect. All right, so we'll have to run main page. Oh, this is going quite well. It's interesting that it just ran that function and then that was the end of it. Yeah, we don't want to, definitely don't want to use it in production. Just trying to get things set up and running. Yeah, I will want to, yeah, this is very dangerous. So let's go ahead and put down a to-do. Remove for production. There we go. Okay. And I think, how is our other thing going? It is done. Oh, nice. It's done. Let's go to our database. We'll go to our docs. Let's refresh. And there we go. All right. So this is going very well. Oh, I will have to start keep extracting more and more of this data. Oh, soon we're going to actually have the database up and running. I'll have to do that later though. It is 7 o'clock now. I need to hop off to feed my dogs. and I need to feed myself. So it's been fun. It's been fun. We will continue more on this tomorrow. We will see about messing with Flask. So what we can do is we can continue running this in the background, extracting data. But tomorrow what we'll do is we'll start working more on Flask and learning about it. It's going to be a more of a reading the documentation and trying to figure things out, as opposed to writing code and actually getting it done. Because I've never used Flask before. This is my first. That's right there, that hello world that we just saw. Let's go to localhost. Let's go to 127. Yeah, that one. 127. That one. My first HTML app right here. I mostly use Tkinter and such, so I'm on my way to being a web developer. Fun. Anyway, it's been fun. It's been fun. Have a good one, everyone. Thanks for hanging out, and see everyone tomorrow. Have a good morning. Have a good night. Wherever you may be, have a good one. Yeah, it's going to be I can already imagine it's going to be a nightmare trying to figure all this out. It's going to be fun, though. Either way, have a good one, everyone. See you later, Code Bomb. And see everyone else later. Everyone else hanging out. Laters.